question is posed first to Mr. Giacomo.
In 2010, 28% of people under the age of 65 in Riverside County were without health insurance. That amounts to 200,000 people in the 41st District. The Affordable Care Act was designed to provide health insurance to as many citizens as possible. What is your opinion of the Affordable Care Act and expected follow-up?
Well, I voted over 50 times in just, I think, 2013 alone to defend the Affordable Care Act from being repealed. The Republicans shut down the government and even threatened to default on America's debts over this issue. I tell you why I stood up firm against it, the move of the Republicans. It's because 1 in 4 people in our district here, our community, lack health insurance. They lack health insurance. They were just one accident or one serious illness away from financial ruin. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, 47,000 new of our citizens have health insurance because they were able to get it through expanded Medi-Cal or through the California Exchange. Let me tell you a little story about why this is important. This is an actual friend of mine who went to UCR High School. Was 2 years ahead of me. She was not able to afford health insurance for many years. And she was so excited when she got an opportunity to go to the healthcare exchange. And with the tax credits and the subsidies, she was able to afford a policy for the first time in a long time. She went to a doctor here in the Inland Empire. I thought we had extended discussion.
Well, extended discussion meaning back and forth. So.
Okay. All right. I'll stop.
Okay. Mr. Adams, you're first. And then I should have said this at the beginning. This question has been identified for extended discussion because it's in the news so much. So there will be more back and forth on this particular question. Whether I don't know if Dr. Marks will be. Go ahead, Mr. Adams.
Okay. Regarding the Affordable Care Act, there are a couple of points about it that I think are good. That the students can stay on until 26. Previous illness is not an exclusion. I used to work in the insurance industry, and that's very important. I think we should be able to sell insurance across state lines and even internationally. You know, most of our insurance is backed by Lords of London. So it's an international insurance. If we can put the private sector back in charge, because government doesn't work good. It doesn't do this well. It's inefficiency. Now, of the several thousand people that Mr. Giacomo says now has insurance, the majority of them had insurance before it was canceled. And then they had to go to a new insurance that was not tailored for their needs. It cost more, the deductibles went up, and their doctors were not allowed, they were no longer allowed to see their doctors. In fact, Mr. Giacomo, you voted no on the opportunity to keep your doctor and keep your policy when that could have passed. You voted no on that. After you went out and promised the people of this region that you could keep your doctor if you liked it, you could keep your policy if you liked it, and yet you voted no. And then when they talk about protecting Medicare, the Affordable Care Act took $600 billion out of Medicare. That's not helping the seniors. $600 billion. That doesn't help the Medicare program. It hurts it. Well, those are the facts. You may not like them. I don't like them. I think it's inappropriate. And by the way, Congress didn't shut down the government. The president did.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Mr. Giacomo, would you like to respond?
Well, you know, Mr. Adams has a penchant for living in a talk show, conservative talk show reality. I mean, this whole thing about he likes the no pre-existing conditions. But that, you know, if you were an insurance agency, in the insurance business, you would know that to be able to tell the insurance companies, you cannot discriminate against anyone with a pre-existing condition and take on that risk. You have to expand the premium pool. And the way that that was done is to say that everybody has to be responsible for buying insurance. You take away the individual mandate, you cannot make, and you cannot say that with a straight face you can fund a plan that makes pre-existing conditions, a ban on that possible. That's simply nonsense. And this whole Lloyd's of London, I don't know where you're getting all that. What I want to ask you, Mr. Adams, is if you're back in Congress, will you vote to shut down the government if, in order to repeal the Affordable Care Act?
No. Why would you do that? Why would the president sign the document to shut down the government when it was merely, let's go to the table and negotiate? He refused to negotiate on that subject whatsoever. He refused to even open the door to discuss things that could happen. Now, we talk about the Harry Reid, who has stopped over 300 bills that's come before the Senate that had jobs and new medical plans that were less expensive and better prepared for the people and run by the private sector. They have never seen the light of day because Harry Reid stopped it. That's not bipartisanship. Those are things that all of us probably could have been for. Let's look and see what they are. He hit them, he shut them down, and they haven't gone out. That's shutting down the government. That's stopping bipartisanship. That's not allowing the people's voices to be heard because their representatives voted on programs that would correct the problems with the Affordable Care Act. You still can't get on the internet. It still has flaws. And we spent, what, $1 billion for internet on that? There's a waste of money.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Major businesses could have done it for $2 million.